Recording has started. We are here for the Tbilisi show, Saturday show today. So let's start with a weather report.
Yeah, so weather as of 13:30 Zulu is winds at 280 at 4 knots. That is corrected for the altitude that we are at. So
Right.
that's the observed winds at the field. Visibility 6 statute miles better. Clouds view 3,100, scattered 3,700, overcast 4,500. That's relative to ground level at the field. Temperature 3, dew point -4, altimeter 3012. And just a note, the few and the scattered don't really exist.
It's fine. It's fine. It's still a low show.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, it's gonna be a low show today. So let me bring up my kneeboard so we can talk about that.
Yeah, let me actually grab that as well.
Wait, no, that'd be a flat show. Yeah, it's a flat show today.
Oh, geez. All right. I have practiced those.
Uh-huh.
I have practiced those at least twice. So
Yeah. Yeah, 45, ceiling of 4,500 is a flat show. So, um, just, just with the adjusted numbers.
yeah, it doesn't feel too cramped when
Yeah,
I
no,
was
but still, like,
sitting around in it. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, flat show.
Yep, flat show. So that means that we're gonna split out of the chocks. So I'll head crowd right. You'll head crowd left. So it'll be a left out of chocks for me, right out of chocks for you. We'll prepare to do the opposing individual takeoff maneuvers.
Mm-hmm.
Your mine's the same as normal. The dirty roll on takeoff. Yours will be a low transition roll to inverted, just under the cloud layer. We'll come in for knife edge and inverted to inverted as normal. Out of the inverted to inverted, you will go and perform the dedication pass, and then prepare to rejoin on me for the MRT. Out of the MRT, it'll be the opposing MRT. We will pull to 20 degrees and do 1.5 rolls, not 10 degrees, as it says here.
20 degrees. Okay, cool.
So,
2.5?
1.5.
1.5. Got it.
Yep. Otherwise, we climb too much and we break the cloud layer.
All right.
Then horizontal rolls while the behind the crowd clears, at which point we'll do the double sneak. Timing for this is going to be really interesting because I have to stay flat for my behind the crowd stuff, so it's a party. After the double sneak, it'll be a line abreast flat pass, and then we'll do the 4-point with behind the crowd clears into the inverted tug over roll. Into the high alpha, which will take us to rejoin on the delta behind crowd right, which is what we talked about over the course of this week. You'll come up on my left. I will say lead left, and then I'll rejoin on you for the delta aileron roll. Delta aileron roll will clear crowd left, front of crowd. Yeah, it'll be clearing front of crowd left to set up for the maneuvering delta, which will clear front of crowd right, which will set up for the delta overhead flat pass. And we will smoke off. So smoke on will be started at the maneuvering delta, and smoke off will happen as we cross over the crowd for the flat pass.
So smoke stays on that whole time.
Yep. And I stay taken in the whole time, which will be a party. And don't worry about me. Do what you need. I'll figure it out. And then we'll stay taken in as you circle us behind the crowd for the left pitch of break to land. And you will lead that.
Got it.
Reminder about the comms on the landing. After gear and flaps are down, it's gear flaps hook up. It's the call. Once you hit the 90, it's Leb is at the 90. Updated winds are whatever the winds are. Check your gear. Check your gear. 3 in the green. Stagger is whatever the stagger is.
All right, so let me go over that again. Labs at the 90, updated winds 280 at 4 knots. Check your gear 3 in the green, stagger left.
Yeah.
Got it. Cool.
Yes.
Are you going to lead the taxi on the way back?
Uh, n- phew, yeah, I'll have to.
Cool.
So yeah, when call clear, you can decide whether you want to do the because I'm the 5 jet, so you can decide whether or not you want to do the landing checks or whether you want to hand lead right. But whenever
Uh-huh.
you hand lead right, I'll take over and we'll proceed to taxi.
Sounds good. One question: the dedication pass, is that pretty quick? Like, are we trying to stay? Like, how quick am I supposed to be doing that relative to everything else that's happening? Like, am I traveling a ways out behind crowd to give time, or am I just trying to come right back around and dedication pretty quick after? Because we're clearing from the knife edge,
We're clearing from
or
the
rather
knife
inverted,
edge. Yeah,
from the inverted to inverted.
we're clearing from the inverted to inverted, and the diamond will be coming in for the diamond dirty to clean flat pass. So that would probably take them probably 20 to 25 seconds. So you could give yourself like a couple miles behind crowd.
Okay,
Like
cool. I was
probably
just
similar to OMRT timing is what I would say.
got it. All right, sounds good. I
Um,
practiced a couple of different
yeah.
profiles to try to get lined up for that, and I have an idea of how I can do it.
And then I'm gonna give it probably 5 to 10 seconds after you've cleared. So I'll probably be at 2 miles by the time you go through. Um,
Okay.
to go into the MRT. So that's gonna be quick. Coming out of the
Okay.
dedication pass into the
Yeah, I have plenty of
MRT regen.
speed, so
Yeah.
just as long as your numbers are clear and your speeds are pretty consistent inbound,
Yeah.
I should be okay.
Also, I'm going to rebind COM2 and I'm going to start to use 16 in the box for hit its and things like that.
Okay,
And once we get to the Delta, everything's on 16 for boss.
got it. That's actually helpful.
Yeah, it is. So, yeah, just something to keep in mind. If we fail at that one today, I don't care. That's like the least of my worries today.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Yeah.
but yeah. Speaking of the taxi back, we'll come right on Charlie. You'll go well clear, and then we'll come right and you'll go right wing, and then we'll go well clear on the back taxi after a little bit.
Copy. Um, on the Delta aileron roll,
Yep.
expect a left roll,
Perfect.
full deflection,
Yeah.
and it'll be a slight pull pitch up before the roll,
Yep.
but 2-ish degrees.
All
It
right.
won't be a yug. It'll be like, up or like a little pull, ready, hit it.
Yeah. After you give your
Okay.
smoke on call, expect that I'm gonna give a let's use it out to well clear,
Okay.
and then
I'll
after
try to smoke on at like 2 miles,
yeah.
like heading into the box. There's like plenty of time.
Yep. And then after we complete the roll, after you give your whatever, like after we complete the roll, if you don't give a call of some kind, whatever your first call is, after that you can expect me to say take it in as well.
It'll be coming right.
Are we gonna come right immediately after that?
I'll probably head outbound for at least a mile,
Okay.
just to get we're gonna need a little more spacing.
Yeah, for sure.
And the both times I practiced it, I accidentally came left afterwards. So I might accidentally come left and then
That's
have
fine.
to come back right. So just be prepared for that.
All right. And I'm gonna be off your right wing for these, by the way.
Right wing. Sounds good.
Not like it should. It shouldn't matter, but that's where I'm gonna be.
Got
Well,
it.
yeah, and yeah, for the flat show, it shouldn't matter at all because we're not doing the Delta breakout. So yeah,
Yeah. I mean, you can take whichever side you want to take.
I'll just take
Just
all
make
of them.
sure you let me know where you are. Like,
Yeah, I'll. Yeah, I will. If I'm not on the right, I'll communicate that I'm moving.
cool.
All right. Anything else before we get to goals for the show?
I don't think so.
My goal for the show is to stay ahead of it.
Yep.
And adjust to whatever the wind is like. Because the last time I did this, the shear was pretty nasty. I was getting tons of texture, which could make formation flying interesting. Yep, that's my goal.
Yeah, winds are pretty mild this time in the Miz. I didn't send you the weather sheet,
You're
but
good.
they're not as aggressive as the ones we've done recently, for at least for as far as wind shear is concerned.
Oh no.
I didn't add any turbulence. What?
Pardon me while I quit the desktop and restart my headset.
What happened?
We've been talking for a while. That's what
Oh, it
happened.
turned off.
Yep.
I got it. Yeah, mine doesn't do that. It'll
Yeah.
stay on as long. Like I've had some times where I've taken it off and haven't remembered to shut it down. It just sits there.
Well. Oh shoot. Hang on. Wake up, little headset. No. Um. Wow. It's like gone. Okay. Now it's alive. Launch DCS. What's weird is it didn't crash the game because it usually does that. So I wonder whether I could have woken it up. Probably not. I think I've done that before. Sorry. What's your goal?
My goal is to just lead my new leading maneuvers as well as possible, not like completely throw you off or be confusing.
All right.
Just be like confident, hit my numbers as well as I can.
What can you give me a rundown of what you are going to do for the maneuvering delta?
Yeah, maneuvering delta. So coming out of the delta aileron roll, it'll be little pull ready, hit it at about 0.5, full deflection, left roll, stabilize. I'll probably try to smoke off because I'll forget that I'm remembering right now. Don't smoke off. Then we'll continue to fly crowd left for at least 1 mile past center point, if not a little further. Come and right. It ends up being pretty tight pull, but I'm going to bleed speed back down from 400 to like 330, so that way we can make the corner without having to pull too many G's. I'm going to try to get on the behind crowd right heading, but pointed behind crowd.
Yeah.
So instead of pointed at center point, behind, kind of like indexed, and then coming in towards the box, it ends up being at about a mile. It'll be coming left. I will not increase the speed. And then I will do what I need to do with left and pull to try to cross, basically pointing our wing line at the center point marker.
Okay.
I will continue that turn all the way out to the front crowd right heading, probably a little beyond that, but roughly that direction. And depending on how the turn is going, I may keep the turn in or I may roll out. That'll also depend on how far from center point we are. If I haven't rolled out by about 3 to 3.2 miles, I probably will just continue the turn. If I have rolled, depending on how quickly that turn comes. There was one practice where I got through it with plenty of time and rolled out and had like a mile to go outbound before I came back towards center point. And there was another one where it was just a consistent turn. So I haven't I haven't got the pointing back towards center point.
Yeah.
I haven't got that like lateral lineup where I like it yet, so it'll probably be a little different than either of my practices, and so I'm not exactly sure what will happen this time.
Okay.
But yeah, I did notice on both of the practices that the turn back towards center point is a little more aggressive than on the delta breakout because I'm a little bit closer in.
Yeah.
So just expect a little more pull.
Yep. All right.
Also, just so that you know, I'm probably going to maneuver a little bit more aggressively than I normally do
Great.
as delta lead.
Yep.
Not going crazy, and it'll probably be less than you think I should do, but I'm going to try to be a little less ginger with that.
Okay. Just give me exude confidence, and I will maneuver confidently.
Yeah, you can expect, not snappy, but a relatively quick roll rate. If I'm just like coming right, it'll just be like rolling off, and we go. Or if I'm like coming right, then it'll be slower.
Yeah. All right. I'm ready if you are.
Okay, let's do it.
Alright, switch inputs.
Yeah, loud and clear.
On the wrong microphone. There we go. I have me. I have you on the right microphone. Let's get.
Oh, you're so much louder in my right headset.
There we go. Close that. Alright.
What? Hold on, that's not good. Oh, that's funny. I never plugged in my stick, so.
Do you have hot swap on? Hot plug on?
Huh? My, like, joystick? It's not plugged in yet.
Will that work?
Should. I just have to rescan devices.
Oh,
Usually
right.
that works.
I forgot that you can do that now.
Yeah. Okay. Devices. Okay.
Make sure to
Rescanned
I
and.
need to change controls. You're right. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, we're good.
I need to switch COM to VoIP.
Oh, one more question, as long as we're doing this. The flaps on the taxi moment.
Yeah.
What do you want me to do for that? I will be, if I don't do anything, I will be in flaps half.
Yeah, you don't have to do anything.
Got it.
That's just a call to, so that you know and, like, Mo knows that I've configured properly for takeoff.
Sounds good.
Alright, I am ready to unpause whenever you are.
Alright, I'm pausing in 3, 2, 1, mark.
Just double check that stick.
Yeah, I got it.
Awesome. That's a high. I keep forgetting how high we are up here.
Yeah, we're real high.
Timber's being a little grumpy, but I'll live with it. Alright. Advise and ready for startup.
Ready for start.
Battery on, APU on, standby canopy.
Web.
3, 2, 1, mark. Standby right engine crank.
Web.
And 3, 2, 1, mark. Standby right engine forward.
Web.
Oh goodness, my mouse is way too sensitive today.
Yeah, I feel like I never changed that setting, but sometimes it freaks out.
Engine forward in 3, 2, 1, mark. Standby wow, left engine crank.
Web.
It's gonna be an interesting flight. In 3, 2, 1, mark. Standby left engine forward.
Web.
Roll left, roll left.
In 3, 2, 1,
Flight
mark.
control.
Standby FCS.
Flight control.
Web.
And
Go for FCS.
3, 2, 1, mark. In test.
Web.
Gonna be a little late on alignment.
It's fine.
Chariot's FCS is go.
Let FCS go.
As a heads up, I've made about 5 mistakes so far.
Okay.
So, this might be interesting. Sure,
What was
it's
IFA? GTC?
same. Sure, CTC complete.
Oh, GTC complete.
Discord check for TreeCom 1.
Good check.
Takeoff checks.
Hold one. Got to land my hand. Should be. Love's ready for takeoff check.
Check your smoke pressure on. Check your trim set. Check your heading. My heading 027. Check your altimeter set. 28 tree 2 for a corrected center plane elevation of 0 feet. Check your barrel ring 0. Check your FCS 12. 30, 30, 30 down 2. Check your fuel. Seat armed lights out.
Web.
Check your smoke pressure on. Smoke on. Smoke off.
Good smoke. Thin.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, Chariot. Updated winds are fairly calm. 280 for 4 knots. Check your altimeter 3012 for a correct altimeter of 2837. For a center point elevation of 0 feet and a density altitude of 710 feet above sea level. Chariot Squawk 1205, level Squawk 1206. You're clear to taxi left out of shocks, left back taxi on 12, correction, 12 right. Hold short, Bravo for 12. Hold on, I got confused. Left out of chocks, left on 3-1 right, left on Bravo, hold short 1-2 right.
Cherry, you got taxi instructions for Leb?
Leb, you're clear to taxi right out of chocks, right on tree 1 left, right on Alpha, hold short Alpha for tree 1 left.
Thanks, Mo. Solos were cleared to taxi. Cherry's firing up to 75% and Cherry's rolling. Check, park brakes off. Chariot's coming left.
Leb's rolling.
See you later.
See ya.
Solo switching 8Com1. Chariot's of 8Com1.
Leb.
Chariot 2837, set 0 feet barrel out.
Leb 2837, 0 feet barrel.
Stand by the flaps, flaps. Check your flaps, half pumps on. Chariot's flaps up, 321, 2 degrees down, barrel out.
Leb's flaps half, 0 feet barrel.
Check your pumps on.
Leb's pumps on, flaps half, 0 feet barrel.
Chariot's on the brakes. Chariot is holding short. Runway 12.
Leb's on the brake.
left, holding short Alpha for 2-1 left.
Chariot switching 9-1. Good afternoon, boss. Updated winds are 280 for 4. You on the airfield and the airspace, you're clear for takeoff. Have a good one. Thanks, Mo. Clear for takeoff. Souls, we're clear for takeoff. Souls ready to rock the show, boss. Chariot's back up 8-1.
Welcome back, Chariot.
Chariot's powering up to 75 and Chariot's rolling. Chariot's coming left. Little brakes, easy brakes, little brakes, brakes. Solos were clear for takeoff. Update winds are 280 for 4. Maneuver are individual takeoff maneuvers.
Leb.
Check your parking off. Chariot's running them up. Chariot's rolling. Shit. Burner's ready now. See ya.
Leb's rolling.
Chariot's clear.
Burner's ready now. Ready. Ready. Hit it. Smoke off. Clear.
Chariot's clear 3.0.
Let's clear 2.
Low show solos.
Low show.
Let me know near beam.
B.
Let me know near your mark.
Good day.
Stand by, market 10. Chariot's in for the right knife edge.
Let's do right knife edge. Left's late. 10 seconds mark, 3 behind, 420.
0.5 ahead.
Three miles, mark 450.
On time.
Two miles, mark 410.
On time. Smoke on.
Contact.
Contact. Smoke off. Ready. Hit it.
Clear.
Stand by, roll, and pull. Stand by, roll. Stand by, roll. Stand by, roll.
Clear.
Roll. Chariot's clear and clear in front of the crowd for the opposing inverted rolls. 1.8 mark.
Match.
Winds are behind the crowd at 4.
Left.
Correction. Winds are crowd right at 4.
Left. 4 miles, mark.
Let me know your beam.
B.
Let me know your ticket mark.
Good to get.
Stand by, market. 42. Chariot's in for the left inverted.
Up to the left, burger. 10 seconds, mark 4 miles, 3. 3 miles, mark 401. Two miles, mark 400.
Ready, hit it. Smoke on.
All right, all right.
Contact. A little drive. Ready, hit it. Stand by, roll. And pull. 030.
Left.
Stand by, roll. Trace clear. And clear behind the crowd for the Fortis. Come off, truck's coming down.
Check Fortis.
330. Chariots coming left for the Fortis.
Dedication pass.
Dedication pass. Chariots coming right. Do what you need.
Left. Contact. Six is behind the crowd side of dedication pass.
Chariot.
6 is in from the left, dedication pass. Burners ready now. Burners ready now. Clear.
Chariots in 3 miles for the MRT 380. Two miles, Mark 350. 1.5 MRT. 1 mile, Mark 348. Burners now. Ready, hit it. Good entry, fast.
Flight controls. Flight controls.
Ease on the pull. Comes the pull. Pulling. Kicking. Chariots pushing out. Leveling out. 900 online, coming right.
Contact.
Comes the pull. Ease the pull. Rolling out. Smoke on. Smoke off. Easing power 300. 320.
Check out chariot.
340. Hook up. Soldiers behind the crowd, setting up the opposing MRT.
You got 2. Good up.
Chariot 83.
Lib 85.
We're coming right. Comes the pull. Look for 220. Ease of the pull. Rolling out. The opposing MRT. 6. 4 left. Easing power. We're high. Rolling out a little bink. Smoke on the lead.
Little wide. Easing just a touch power. Power set.
Smoke. Off. Ready, hit it. Smoke on. 380 mark.
Little fun.
Numbers.
Numbers. Contact.
Linger for center point, Lab.
Lab.
Merge. Stand by, roll. Pull to 20. Stand by, roll.
Clear.
Roll.
Clear.
Roll. Chairs clear. And clearing in front of the crowd for the horizontal rolls. 2.2 mark.
2.5.
We're getting there.
3.5 mark. And a 4 miles mark.
Let me know your beam.
Beam.
Let me know your tick mark.
Take it.
Stand by, mark it. 42. Chariot's in for the left horizontal rolls behind the cut clears.
Up to the left horizontal, behind the current clears. 10 seconds, mark 4 miles, 430. Three miles, mark 4.
Damn it.
Worked a little angle. 2 miles, mark 401.
Smoke on.
Product.
Correct. A little pull. Ready, hit it.
Roll right, roll right.
Burners. Pull. Stand by, roll. Burners. Pull. Oh, damn it. Easy pull. Rolling out 5-5.
Web screwed that up.
No, I screwed that up. You're good. Chariot's clearing behind the crowd for the double sneak. Chariot 7-6.
Web 70.
That one's on me. Damn it. 3 miles mark. Miles mark. Turn circulating 5 miles for the sneak, double sneak.
Web.
Cherry's turning in 5 miles, double sneak on the runway.
Web.
4 miles, mark point 76.
On time.
3 miles, mark point 83. 2 miles, mark point 89.
Pull up, pull up.
1 mile, mark full burn.
Smoke's on.
Chancellor 97.
Web clear 80.
Chair's clearing behind the crowd for the line abreast flat pass.
Web. Web's clearing behind the car.
Church circling 3.5 for the line abreast flat pass. Church turning in 3.5, line abreast flat pass. Wings level, smoke on. We're in for the line abreast flat pass, using little power. Center point. Smoke off. A little pull, adding power. Adding more power. Chariot snatch. Chariot snatch, boss. A little shallow. Let me know your beam.
Beam.
Let me know your ticket mark.
Take it.
Stand by, mark it. 10. Chariot's in for the right 4 point behind the car clears.
Right 4 point behind the car clears 11. 10 seconds mark 4 and 410. Working an angle. 3 miles, Mark 9, or 394. Two miles, Mark 4.
Damn it. Smoke on.
Contact.
So contact smoke off. Ready, hit it. 1, 2,
Roll right, roll right.
3, 4. Stand by, roll, and pull. Easable. Roll out. Chairs clear behind the crowd for the inverted takeover roll.
Left's coming, left.
Contact.
380, easy power, 370. Little pull, 360. 355. 350. Little more pull. Ease of the pull and roll, and out 350.
We got 2 lub.
Left, little pull. So behind the crowd, setting up the invert takeover roll.
Chariot.
A little wide. Coming left. Coming further left. Comes the pull, adding power. A little more pull. Easy. So the 90 for the invert takeover roll.
Chariot.
A little further left. Ease and pull. Easy more pull. Roll and out. The invert takeover roll.
Chariot.
Up we go. Ready, hit it. Lap park.
Smoke on.
Little drive. A little more drive. Ready, hit it. Clear.
Smoke off. Stand by, roll. Pull to 10 degrees. Stand by, roll. Rolling out. Coming left.
Inside.
Contact.
Ease the pull and rolling out. Come back left, 365. 370. A little further left, little pull, 375. Ease and power, 380. Ease in the pull and rolling out. Ease and a little more power.
You got 2 lub.
Left. Close behind the crowd, setting up the high alpha.
Chariot.
Adding a little more power.
We'll be into the delta out of the high alpha.
Delta. Coming left. Coming further left. Comes the pull. Stand by the, or easing power. Now stand by the boards. Boards. A little further left. A little more pull. So to the 90 for the section high alpha.
Chariot.
Pulling out a little bank. Ease in the pull. Rolling out the section high alpha. Easing power.
Chariot.
Easing more power. A little pull. Stand by the boards. Board. 180. 170. A little more pull. 160. 155. 150. 140. 135. Pull into the set, adding power. Adding a little more power. Setting it, smoke up.
Center point. Wave it off.
Left. Clear. 60, coming left.
Chariot's breaking left. 260. Ease and lots of power.
Contact.
275. 280 ease and some pull. Rolling a little bank. 290 ease and more power. $300. Ease and more power. 305. Ease in the pull. Rolling out. 310, adding a little power. Delta's behind the crowd, setting up the Delta. Left aileron roll. Chariot 5-6.
Web 59, coming up underneath on your left.
Contact. Left lead.
Left lead. Adding a little power.
You got 6 boss.
Boss. We're coming left. Coming further left comes the pull. A little more pull. Ease a little power. Using more power. A little more pull. Delta 90. A left-hand turn for the Delta. Aileron roll.
Chariot.
Ease in the pull. Easing power. Rolling out. We're outboard.
Chariot. Take it in.
A little high. Adding power smoke. Come on.
Let's ease it out to half clear.
A little pull to level. Ease in the pull. Up we go. Ready, hit. Clear. Easing power. Easing more power.
Take it in.
Coming right. Coming further right. Easing more power. Comes the pull. A little further right.
Clear to rejoin.
A little more pull. Adding power. A little further right. A little more pull. A little more power.
Check my smoke.
I think we're good. Delta's in front of the crowd, setting up the Delta, maneuvering Delta.
Chariot, let's ease it out.
Ease on the pull. Rolling out. Little pull to level.
Take it in.
We're coming back left. Coming further left comes the pull. Rolling out a little bit. Ease in the pull. And rolling out. Adding power. Adding more power.
Clear return.
A little pull. And we're coming back left. Coming further left comes the pull. Easing lots of power. A little more pull. Delta's in front of the crowd, left-hand turn, setting up the Delta overhead fly pass.
Chariot, take it in. Clear return.
Adding power. A little further left. Ease in the pull and rolling out the Delta flat pads.
Chariot, take it in.
Ease and some pull, little drive. Easing power. A little pull to level. Set. Smoke. Ah. Little pull. Adding power. Adding more power. And we're coming right for the left pitch of the land.
Chariot.
A little further right. Even more right comes the pull.
Let's ease it out.
Ease and some power. Ease and a little pull, rolling out a little bank. Easing more power. Coming back right. Comes the pull. Smoke on. A little more pull. A little more pull. Ease in the pull and rolling out to the left. Pitch up to land.
Left brake hick, take it in.
Outboard, inboard. Adding a little power. Or the numbers for the left. Pitch up to land. Little angle.
Left brake hick.
Center point. Boss break it.
1 potato 2. Cherry spriggin.
Usable rolling out. 145.
145. Cherry's rolled out.
Smoke off. Gear flat. Coming left. 300 chariot. 2 air chariot. Check gear flaps down. Hook up.
Cherry's gear flaps hook up.
240 chariot. 220 chariot. Leb's at the 90 for the left split. Check your gear 3 in the green. 200 chariot. 180 chariot. Little overshoot. 16 chariot. 140 all the way, Chariot.
160, a little overshoot. 140 all the way. Long in the groove.
That's okay.
Sure, it's okay.
That's on the brakes. That's okay.
Sure, it's okay, lab.
Landing checks.
Sure it.
Check your smoke pressure off. Check your tabs. Check your flaps. Auto. Check your landing light is off. Reset your trim and safe seat.
Sure it.
Right lead. Check your smoke.
Smoke off. We'll clear on the back taxi of 2-1 for individual left 90s and shocks.
Left.
Check breaker workers off. Chairs pairing up to 75. Sorry, 72% off brakes now. We're coming right, go clear.
Left's clear.
Chairs ease power 68, let it roll. We're coming right, can we turn the right wing?
Left.
We made it.
We did. We did indeed.
I really don't know how to debrief this.
Same way we do every day, Pinky. Try to take over the world.
BrotherLeb, go clear.
Left is clear.
Chariot's easing power to 67. Letting it roll. A little brakes. Easy brakes. A little more brakes. Off brakes now. Easing power to 66. Letting it roll. By 6. Coming left for parking. Okay. Little brakes, easy brakes, little brakes, brakes. Stand by canopy and engines.
Left.
In 3, 2, 1, mark. Well, that happened.
We did it.
Let's go debrief.
Good.
BrotherLeb, you got me?
I'm clear.
Alright. Oof. Big oof. I mean, it wasn't as bad as it could have been, but...
Flying maneuvers we never fly.
I gave up on the comm thing because that's what screwed me up in the horizontal rolls. I was just like, that's actually one more variable than I can handle right now. Alright.
Yeah. When I was in boss mode, I was able to get on the other comm, but I couldn't do the in the box ones.
Yeah. Okay. Give me a moment to get everything up and running in 4K.
Yep. Take your time.
Oh my gosh. That was rough. Oh, bother. Man, I was hoping to be better at that, but like, we've just chucked a whole bunch of variables in.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess it makes
Completely
sense.
new order, some maneuvers we don't ever do, new comms.
Yeah, probably should have left the new comms out entirely and just been like, let's see if we can just get the show right. But you know how it is. I'm ambitious.
And a flat show is really different than, like,
Really
low shows
different.
are not that different, but
Nope.
flat shows like really different.
Yeah. Based upon the clouds when I went up for the horizontal rolls, we could have done a low show.
I think so.
But it was good practice to get a flat show, and that's why I didn't have us actually do any checks or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, we need to learn how to do this, so let's just commit. Alright, debrief time. There were so many major safeties, I don't even know where to start. I don't even know if I remember them all. The major one was the clear for the horizontal rolls. I did that incorrectly. That's a major safety. Trying to think about other big ones that I did. Lots of safeties, wing climbs and stuff in the formation flying. I don't fly a lot of right wing formation, believe it or not. So
I guess that's true.
this was a lot of good practice, but it definitely isn't going to look good most of the time. I will say the rollout for the pitcher break to land was sick. The rest of it was trash. And also we had mismatched smoke. Just was impossible to see. I checked myself a couple times. You checked me and you couldn't see it, so like, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's rough, but we'll live with it. Other major safeties. Oh yeah, the Fortis mix-up. That's also a safety because if you come over to where I am essentially and like run into me, then we could die. So that's a major safety. All right, those are most of my major safeties. I'll fix them for next time. I'm glad we're still here.
Yeah, let's see. Safety, inverted tuckover roll. We had a nose down attitude coming into center point because we were high to start with, and there's that hill. I should probably just like no maneuver for that high because there's not really a great way to fix it. It worked out, but it was dangerous. So safety there. And then the maneuvering delta, I crowd violated, so safety there. And then pitch upright to land, I was outboard to inboard, and I think I crowd violated on that one as well. So those safeties, I'll fix them. I'm glad to be here.
All right, let's get into it. Okie dokie. Dural and takeoff was a non-event. No issues, no notes.
Yeah, my takeoff. I still am not exactly sure what that maneuver is supposed to look like, but I pulled up to like just below the cloud layer, flew inverted, and then left, and it felt fine. So no notes.
Let's see if I can find it. I know that. Yeah, here we go. Number 6 will execute a low transition at 300 knots. He'll pull just 570 degrees nose up. At 100 to 200, he'll roll the aircraft inverted.
Wait, what?
And then
5 to 7 degrees nose up. Oh, okay.
so like
Oh, so really low.
you take
I'll have to do
yeah.
a little more for this because there's that hill.
Well, no, here you take off, and when you reach 300 knots, you roll inverted, and then at 350 you do a 270 clear behind crab.
Uh-huh. No, but I'm still gonna have to nose up more than 5 to 7 degrees because of the hill.
You don't reach 300 knots before you hit the end of the runway. But yes,
I do.
Yeah.
But by the time I hit 350 knots, who knows where I'll be.
All right.
But yeah, that's definitely not what I did, so I'll have to fix that.
Let's get back into it. The knife edge felt fine. It's really hard to see when it's that dark.
Yeah, particularly coming your way because you have I have a little bit of sky behind you that I can sometimes silhouette you with, but you can't see anything, I bet. So yeah, it felt pretty solid.
Cool.
Really.
I agree. I don't know where our hit's going to be. I think it's going to be left. But yeah, no notes on that one for me personally. But yeah, inverted to inverted, also no notes on. Well, okay, that's not true. I started off high on this one, and then I called the drive a little late. Aside from that, the maneuver was fine, but still C minus.
Yeah, I saw that you were high and came up to meet you, but I also kind of bobbled my first inverted, so it's sloppy. I give myself a C.
Okay, here's the location of my first safety, because we don't do the Fortis. And I just muscle memoried into the Fortis. And so that's a mistake on my part. So, and a safety, which I'll fix for next time. I'm glad to be here. Let's move on to your maneuver. If I can go find it. Here we go. The dirty clean flat pass.
Number 6 will
overtake.
Sorry.
Hold on. Let me bring that back up for you.
Just curious. Overtake the diamond while the diamond is approaching some point. Climb to 1000 AGL, execute a right-hand turn, clear. I definitely didn't do that. Okay, good to know.
I mean, they usually don't. It's just the six comes up on the left of the diamond.
Of the formation.
And
I just did a pretty standard dedication pass for this one, so it's not going to look totally right, but it's hard to do it without a diamond.
And if you're wondering why me screwing up the Fortis was a safety, this is why. Did you see me at all?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I called that I had you visual.
All right, cool. But still, that's too tight.
Yeah.
All right. There he goes, folks.
Once you were pointed behind crowd, I was like, oh, I'm okay. And then you came back left, and I was like, But then I was like, oh, I'll just be behind him. It'll be fine.
Yeah. All right. Back to our normal programming. I need to figure out a better way to do this. Realistically, I should have 2 of these open, is how I should do this. In different windows. No. Like so. And then
if you have Acrobat, you could split up the pages and get a low show, flat show version of it.
I totally could. That is a thing I could do.
I don't have Acrobat. So
Me neither. Here we go. I'm so glad they don't do this anymore. It's so boring. Alright. Okay, now that we got that one, let's go to this one. This is the fun. Cool. Minimum raise turn. The MRT was a non-issue for me. Just the atmospheric conditions make it so that I end up clearing low. So, but otherwise it was fine. No notes.
Yeah, the timing, it came a little quicker than I was expecting, but I actually meant that I was basically in the right position at the right time because I was a little slower than I probably would have otherwise been. I remember thinking, oh, he's probably going to end up low. during my practices, but I didn't for this one, so I was too high. But it might look okay from the crowd. Yeah, so all in all, it actually ended up working as a better profile than I sometimes get, so no notes.
As a note for this one, I think I was about 10 seconds late into the box.
Okay.
So it's going to come faster than that. Okay. Opposing Minamaria's turn. This one felt good. I think we actually did hit left.
Oh, we definitely did.
Yeah.
I'd be surprised if we did.
And I think that's
Sorry.
my fault, so I don't want you to change anything. And the reason why I say that is because partway through the turn, my speed started increasing, and I looked down, and I was only at 3.5 G. So my turn was wide.
Okay.
So don't change anything. I think if I hit my numbers, we'll be right on center point.
Yeah. Okay.
Any other notes for that one? The clear happens fast.
Not really. Yeah, the clear happens pretty quick, but when I was practicing, I noticed that, and I was practicing at 10 degrees up, so it was a lot faster, and then it was also, yeah, I don't know. I'm glad we didn't do 10 degrees. That's nuts. Yeah, the turn was good. Everything was. I was a little wide when you handed me lead, so that's not ideal. I'd like to be a little closer in, so you have less work to do. I was more or less on profile most of the way through, and then when I called that I had contact, I realized that I was out ahead of you and was gonna need to come around the corner. I don't know. I eased out a lot of G at that point, and it just kind of got funny. But I'm pretty sure we're gonna be like 3 left.
Yeah, I think he did all the right things. I got a little low on when we got in front of the crowd before we did our break, but I think the break turn is actually going to look really good. I actually did a flat turn for the first time in a hot minute. So.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Also I'm a little high relative to you. Like I know you were low, and I can only go down so far, but it's still like that's the problem. My job to solve it. So the hit's going to be high and left.
Oh, and that's not just your problem. I was at 210, so I was below our contract altitude. So, like I said, if I hit my numbers, I think we'll be right.
Okay.
I appreciate the adjustments you wanted to make. Okay, opposing horizontal rolls. I don't think there's a contingency version of this. No, there's not. Okay. Opposing horizontal rolls is the location of my second safety. The maneuver itself was fine inside the box, but then I went to the vertical instead of clearing behind the crowd. So that's a safety, and I'm glad I'm still here.
Mm-hmm.
No other real notes for that one.
Yeah, it was fine. I can't think of anything that was really significant about that one. Because you gave the burners call, I did go cans for the turn.
Okay.
But other than that, it was fine. Yeah, no further notes.
We haven't had a mismatched clears in a while. That's a bummer. All right. Next up is the double sneak. Yeah. Turning in flat is a whole different ballgame than dropping in. But yeah, it was all fine, and the clear, I abbreviated the clear a little bit because I didn't pull up high enough, as high as I usually do because of the clouds. But yeah, no issues here.
I think I was just like a second or two late. This one's supposed to be pretty close to like boom, boom. So that was a bummer. And then I also didn't smoke off at the right time on the clear. I'm supposed to smoke off, then do my little clear wing dip, and I didn't smoke off until I turned behind crowd. So little detail things. So not ideal, but still, yeah, I don't know. C.
Interesting, yeah. Based upon the book, you did exactly what's supposed to happen. Based upon what Whiskers did, he actually did a full 180 and ended up behind the crowd in that video that I sent you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought he went crowd left, huh? Interesting.
I'm pretty sure.
I didn't read the book. I should have read the book, but I did it based on what I saw in the video.
I'll be honest, the book doesn't describe everything that they do these days.
Oh, it super doesn't. I mean, this is the 2023 manual, so it's different as well.
It was actually the 2024, but still, regardless.
Oh, yours is? Oh, interesting. I have the 23 manual, but that video is from 22, so.
Yeah. But regardless, I think Whiskers did a full 180 and ended up pointing behind crowd.
Must have been a timing thing then.
I think so. All right. Line abreast flat pass happened, and it was uneventful, and the breakout was uneventful. So that moves us on to the 4-point. This one was fine. Inbounds, I was doing some jockeying to get into the right spot, but we more or less did. I had trouble seeing you again with the smoke on. It turns out you were behind my left horizon HUD line.
Oh, jeez.
So I was able to spot that at about 0.7, but we were fine. We did the maneuver. I think we were really close to each other. But then we cleared behind crowd correctly, so I'll take a win there. All in all, I think I give myself a B- for this one.
Yeah, it looks like we were about 150 feet apart. Yeah, I wasn't really sure. It ends up being just a sort of a normal setup relative to you.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was a little weird. But it ended up being fine. I was just really fast on that first call, but late, so we ended up getting online. The big mistake I made is I was a little low entering the box, so that's probably why you had trouble finding me.
Mm-hmm.
So because I remember seeing you pretty easily silhouetted way above the crowd. I did check my altitude, and I was only like maybe 10 or 20 low, so didn't feel like it was that low, but it was definitely lower than it should have been. Yeah, maybe a little close on the hit. It was my job to do the spacing, but I felt like it was within parameters.
It was fine. Yeah. Just
And
tighter
I
than we've
feel
been.
like we tend to be a little wide on some of these,
Yeah.
or at least I tend to be a little wide on some of these. So trying to work that in. I don't know if this was a show to do that, but okay. I don't know. See.
All right, next up would be we skip the vertical pitch. That takes us into the inverted takeover roll.
Yeah, invertor. I think, yeah, setup was just a little wonky because we ended up rolling out without a whole lot of time. And then, like I said, in this, what I was talking about, my safeties were pretty high, and I left the nose down. Other than that, I feel like most of the maneuver was, more or less within what is expected. I didn't get full bank on the rollout, so I'm noticing that now. It's a safety, and no further notes. Glad to be here.
Yeah, I noticed that we were nose down, but I was like, whatever. I mean, the dude knows what he's doing. So, rolled in, had trouble getting you in the right spot, and I ended up getting a little wide. And I thought to myself, I'm not gonna try and fix this. I'm just gonna try and put his canopy where the crowd is. And it took me until like last 0.2 to get there. But I think I finally got there, and I might just be a smidge ahead at the hit. So I'm still working this in, but it's getting better every single time. The clears, I rolled too fast again, so that's still going to look mismatched. So C minus. Moving on to the high alpha.
High alpha. Setup was okay, a little wide. It's just fast. I didn't bring enough power out. So we didn't get set until like 1.5, and we were still trying to drop altitude into the box. And then the thing just wanted to wander right, left.
Yes.
Normally it doesn't do that, and normally I'm steadier than that, and I just wasn't used to it, like falling, the nose falling laterally like it was doing. So that was a little spooky, and I was trying really hard to keep it from falling into you. But yeah, it was definitely not the most stable from a right to left perspective, though the VSI was pretty decent. And I will be interested. It was a little outboard to inboard, but we had space for it, so that wasn't a huge problem. And I'll be interested to see what that clear looks like from the crowd.
All right. I need to make an adjustment on my sight picture for the line abreast because I was a smidge behind the whole way. Like once we got set. But aside from that, there was a spooky moment on the rollout that was not great. And then the rest of the maneuver was pretty decent, and my clear was safe at this altitude and with a tailwind. I didn't want to go full nose over, so it was a safe clear, but should be flat. And the turn behind crowd was good. I remembered your request to keep the speed low, and I did so behind crowd, which takes us into
That was
the...
helpful, by the way.
Yeah.
I got in like long even before I said it. You were just giving other comms, so I didn't say it. But
Which takes us into a maneuver that is not in the book, because they're starting to do it this year, and that is going to be the Delta aileron roll.
oh right, okay. So this actually is a safety I forgot to mention because I forgot about it. But like I set up on the right and I had to come over to the left, and that just is not how it's supposed to work. So safety, glad to be here. As I was underneath you and like out of your sight picture, and I was like, I'm over here, and you're like, you found me, but it was just like not. That's not how it's supposed to work, and it's dangerous to fly underneath the formation. So there's that. The turn all felt fine. Little outboard, so I needed to bring in a little more pull in the turn. And I said up we go instead of a little pull, which is just a common mistake. But yeah, the roll was okay, and the rest of the maneuver felt fine.
Yeah, to be honest, like, aside from my form flying was hot trash, but, and you can see that in multiple points throughout, the TAC view or anything else you're watching, but aside from that, I flew everything on parameters. My roll, I had matched rolls with you, ended up just a smidge high, which is fine, and, my take it in was also fine. I think when you said clear, you didn't say smoke off, so I didn't, and that's where a mismatched smoke happened.
Oh, so we briefed that the smoke didn't come off,
Yes.
so I didn't take the smoke off. That was intentional.
Okay, so then it happened at some other point.
Because yeah, we briefed that we wouldn't take smoke out, so I didn't take smoke
Okay.
out. I remember when you asked, check your smoke, and I looked in my mirror as we were coming out the corner. I was like, I can see my smoke trail.
Yeah.
And I couldn't tell if it was also yours because we were flying pretty close, and
Mhm.
I didn't have time to like look real close. I just had to
Yeah, you're
do
fine.
what I had to do. It'll be interesting to see what the timing is like because I forgot to add any delay to the hit it as lead. So
I mean, I'm flying visual, and it's my track file, so it should be fine.
okay, cool.
I'm used to your calls, as 5, so you don't need to change anything.
Cool. Yeah. I guess I could just take the rest of this because I'm leading all
Yep,
the rest of these
go
maneuvers.
for it.
Yeah, so the maneuvering delta, I did not pull enough power out. I should have probably gone further outboard than I did. I turned at about 1 point, I don't know, 1 or 2. Or, sorry, I turned at about 1 mile outboard, maybe a little more, looking at it. And I should have probably gone out to like 2 miles to give myself enough room for this. I didn't. And I didn't get enough pull in. So the setup was weird. And then I didn't come back towards center point early enough. So, or turn sharply enough, like rapidly enough, roll rate wise, and pull so that this is where that crowd violation safety happens. We're going to be real close to the crowd on that one. That is my major note for that. Glad to be here.
I expected a more rapid left turn,
Good to know.
and so I got a little bobbly. But I got once you got your bank set, I got back in, but I shuffled out wide to make sure I didn't hit you quite a few times throughout the maneuvering delta. Aside from that, yeah, aside from that and like the speed fluctuations, I guess like when are you adjusting your throttle in that call? Like when does that happen? Does it happen right at the beginning? Does it happen
Which
at
call?
when you're for both of your power adjustments, easing power and adding power? When are you making the adjustment on your throttle?
Usually, as I'm saying the word easing or adding.
Okay, cool.
And it's usually it usually kind of like builds up a little.
Okay.
So like it like easing like on the word ease or add like movement starts and it usually lasts
That
like
explains it.
it doesn't it's not like a digital thing where like
Yeah.
now I've added some power. It's like I'm adding power and it's coming forward or
Okay,
I'm
so it's like a
easing power and
ramp.
it's coming back.
You're
A little
ramping.
bit. It doesn't ramp up. Yeah, within reason. Like
Right,
it
but
doesn't.
like, okay, cool.
It's,
That helps.
uh-huh.
Because
Yeah.
I don't like, I didn't have like, we've done this a bunch in other maneuvers, but like with the flat stuff, it's weirder and harder, and like I'm in tighter than I usually am.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And so it's
I'll
like,
say it's as a lead, it's spooky because we were doing this at like 300 feet,
uh-huh.
and I was just like, and there's obstacles.
I know,
I
dude.
was like, ah!
I was thinking about that, and I'm down there. I'm like, okay. I hope I'm alive. But
Right.
like, yeah, that helps me understand how I should be flying, understanding what your intent is when you make those
Yeah.
adjustments. That's perfect. Okay, that's it for me. Like D because my form flying sucked.
Yeah. I think the shape of that maneuver is actually not bad. I felt like got too far pointed behind
No,
crowd,
you
but
did good.
the shape's not bad. It just was a little late on coming back left, so it's too deep. But anyway, yeah. So we ended up rolling out for this because we were close, and there's no way I could do a full turn
No,
unless I ease a lot
you
of
don't
turns.
want.
So
That's
that
not the intent. It's
yeah.
supposed to
So I
look like
think
a cup.
heading away from crowd
Yeah.
works pretty well. Needed a little more pull coming back around the corner, but got more or less lined up. We were kind of right to left on and I only noticed it once we got in towards crowd because we're really flat, and so
Yeah.
it's just like hard to get any bearing. Um, but yeah, just kind of held what I got and did what I did. And the maneuver overall, I think, was relatively smooth. No huge nuts for that.
You know, I'm beating myself up, but like looking at the tack view, it doesn't look that bad. But I was all over the place.
Yeah,
As
no,
we crossed Solargong, I was just like I was all over the place, and so I got it settled in by the time we crossed Tbilisi. But it was pretty trashy before that. So
yeah,
once again a D.
yeah. I mean, I don't want to gaslight you, but I felt like I could see you were all over the place, but I was also not expecting you to be dead in because you've literally never flown these maneuvers on my wing before.
Yep. And I don't get a lot
And
of
so
practice flying right wing.
no, I also it's weird in a flat show because I'm leading all the delta maneuvers. I
Mhm.
don't fly form at all.
You're right. You don't. That's wild.
Zero form flying. Yep.
Yeah,
Anyway,
because we don't do Fortis. Whoa.
nope, we don't do Fortis. We don't do. Oh no, sorry. I fly form for about 30 seconds after the MRT into the OMRT.
Yep.
That's it. Anyhow,
All right.
yeah. So the pitch up, break to land, the comms were all over the place because there's so many little details and I always forget them, and so I forgot them again. We also rolled out. I needed to bring in more pull earlier. I was kind of trying to wait to delay doing that to make sure that I had enough
Yeah, that's fine.
downrange, and then we ended up pointing back towards crowd. I probably should have fixed it. Like we've got good 5 to 10 degrees of toward crowd heading. So by the time I hit it, we're like pretty inboard of the show line. So that needs to be fixed, which is a safety. Glad to be here. And then I got bumbly with comms. I was a little fast on the downwind. So the turn in was bad, and that caused the overshoot for final, and a little long in the groove as well. So I think I needed a turn earlier for that. I needed to make sure that I had bled down the speed appropriately in order to make that work, and probably just a little more pull. And then comms, I need to review those. No further notes.
Yeah. Never done the form flying behind the crowd for this before, so it was. I just didn't know what to expect, so it's just riding the bull. One recommendation is for the delta and diamond crossing maneuvers. Uh, if you miss center point, boss usually just sets up on the correct heading and just deals with being off, unless it's going to be a crowd violation. So like, you know how you rolled out and we're like outboard to inboard.
Mm-hmm.
Just like roll out outboard of the runway and just fly runway heading,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I should have
and
done.
you just deal with it. And like, that's a lesson I learned from
Yeah. I
The
mean,
the
part.
interview with Armitage that came up recently.
Yeah.
He just stuffs it and is like, well, it sucks. We're like
Yeah.
200 feet outboard? Whatever.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to listen and watch that. I think the major problem here was that I just didn't roll out. Like, roll rate was not fast enough.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, you could see where I crossed that point, and in order to get us rolled out, I would have had to increase the roll rate quite a bit earlier in that rollout, which I maybe could have done, but I just didn't do that in time, and so we just overshot it.
Yep, it happens. But I was able to follow the roll. I was actually based upon the bank angle we were at, I was expecting a faster rollout because I fly boss for this maneuver fairly often. It's like if we're banked over this much, it's gonna be pretty rapid when he whips us out of this. But so
Which is funny because I wasn't even. I felt like I was going to need more bank than we ended up having. Like we're at about 60.
Well, that's the benefit of the ease of the pull is that it unloads the nose, so you don't have to have as much bank over. So yeah, it's turns out there are reasons why they do things. But yeah, my form flying on this rollout and was like pretty stinking good, and then I was right in for for the pitch up. I was right on time. I ended up being slow compared to you. And so I added it back up and hit the numbers coming around the corner. I think I'm going to be late on the landing. And then taxi was too fast. I'm going to shoot for 5 knots for the turn in just because of how tight it is to get lined up with the diamond. So it's going to be a lot slower than it is right now.
That's fine. I think that's like watching videos of the actual blues park. They can be pretty slow sometimes.
Yep, so it's going to be one of those.
Cool.
Aside from that, that's all I got. Ready to watch this disaster?
Yeah, I am.
All right. Watch this actually look fine, except for the smoke issues. All right.
We shall see.
Man. I'm just bummed about the horizontal rolls thing. Like, the rest of it I can live with, but that one I'm kicking myself about. That and the Fortis, like those two are like major safeties that I should be better at. I know I've never done this before, but still.
Yeah, remembering the differences in the order for the flat show in particular is really difficult. Like it's like, oh, this is a different maneuver than we normally do, but it happens when this other one happens. That's one thing.
Yeah.
But it's like, no, the order of the show is now different.
Yeah,
that
was the challenge for me. There we go. All right, let's get the volume adjusted here. And roll it. That's funny. I just thought if you put a static something in between the two of us, then I can center on us.
I mean,
that gets extreme at that point.
you don't really have any references. Like I see that little taxi sign to my right. Yeah, my right.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of what I use for figuring out where to park.
Yeah, I parked. I don't know I don't know how. Yeah. It's that little blue dot. It's the taxi blue dot right in front of my jet, which you probably can't see, but
I cannot.
It's there. Alright. There I go. And there you go. Yep. Oh. There he is. Oh, I forgot to smoke on this too. I remember that now. I never get to just watch me fly this maneuver. And you're gonna start
It looks
rolling.
so unstable from the direction of the taxiway that I'm on.
Uh-huh. We'll get to you in a second.
That's fine.
Yep. Look good. There he goes. Dude, your low transitions are so good these days.
I know. It's a surprisingly hard thing to do in DCS.
Oh, interesting. You had smoke on.
I did. You're right. Huh. Oh yeah, I smoked on.
Yeah, that's the maneuver that I remember them doing. So I think you're doing it right.
Okay. I
That's-
want to try what's in the book sometime.
Alright.
You like barely pull up and then go inverted when you're like.
Where am
screaming
I?
over
There
the
I am.
deck.
Behind the tent.
Oh, I forgot to fix that guy.
Nope, that's the wrong smoke. There it is. The opposing my veg pass. More or less over center point. I think it's like 2 right.
Yep. Altitude was good too.
Overroll.
I did the same exact thing.
Bummer.
I also overrolled the OMRT clear because we got more speed on it.
Oh yeah, I have to dip down and then roll inverted for this. It's really fun.
Yep. Yeah.
That's why I was high, because I didn't quite get the dip. Ooh, that was close.
Oh!
That was real close.
You see my nose high? Because I was starting
Yeah.
out low and you started out high. So I'm like 7 or 8 degrees nose high.
All right, don't watch me. I'm screwing up right now. Let's go watch BrotherLeb. We'll see him. Don't worry. It's just replicating the visual impairments of an actual air show. Where you're like, why is there a tent? Nice.
Need to get lower.
Are you full pull on that?
I'm pulling for a speed,
Okay.
so no. I could get full pull, but
So there was a show that I watched where it was an actual solo show, so like 5 was the only solo, and it was a flat show, and he just did like a transit maneuver in front of the crowd, and he just like did a dedication pass and just full pulled the thing.
that's sick. Turbo nose level.
Yeah. I think I need a little bit more speed at this show site. I think I need to do like 310. I'm around 300 and it's not working. Thanks for calling out the hook.
I didn't notice it until that point.
Alright, we're match
It's a good
smoked
thing
right
that-
now.
We were close enough that I
Uh-huh.
could see it.
Smoke on. Yep, I corrected it. That looks perfect.
Nice.
Yes!
That was very good.
That's what it's supposed to look like. The amount of math going on in my head
Yeah.
while we were flying out there, I was like, okay, we're really high, but then I have to be like at the right distance from him.
Yeah, left hit.
Left hit,
Four
nice.
left.
Yep. Quite a bit wide. But
Yeah.
there's the 20 degrees. And the 1.5. Yep. There we go. That's a flat show. Smoke's on. You can barely see it, but it's on. Nice. One left. Don't watch me. No! Alright, well, let's see what I do anyway, since this is here.
Yeah, we could have done a low show.
Yep. But I wanted to practice a flat show, because we never do that.
Yeah.
Pull up, pull up.
Yeah, a little late.
No, that was about right. If you heard it, you would have heard it be about right.
That's where I should smoke off. Ooh, overroll.
Yeah. Smoke off before the snaps. Alright. Coming in for the flat mass. Just gonna skip this because it's a flat pass. Smoke off. A little shallow angle.
You didn't call the diamond stinger thing, so
Oh, you're right. Sorry.
I was
should've
in the
done
right spot, fortunately. But when you called like
Yeah.
chariot detach, I was like, oh gosh, I'm glad I'm where I need to be.
that. Yeah, I forgot that. My bad. I was focused on the pole.
Yeah.
And the speed. For some reason, I thought at the smoke off I'd called it, but I hadn't. 1, 2,
Oh,
3, 4. A little fast. Find the crowd clears. A little drop. Whoa, okay. We have moved. Hi, woman. Let me put my head on top of this dude. There we go. Okay.
Yeah, it's so weird. Not doing any form flying. Usually I do a ton.
Uh-huh. Alright,
It's
here we
just the
go.
unlucky. Yeah, this sucker. Look how high we are.
Yep. I was like, I'm not scared enough in this turn. We're high. There we go. Missed the drive. I'm behind. Alright, cool. Noted. Early. That one's about right. Climbing the
Yeah, I
turn.
need to turn a little snappier.
Bummer. Definitely not my cleanest.
It's crazy coming in like this. It's like boards not trying not to go all the way to idle.
The issue you had is that you
220
carried,
knots.
you had power in too long in the turn.
Yeah, yeah.
And so, like, we paid for it for the rest of the maneuver.
Yeah.
Like, there's a reason why I tend to ease power before I roll in for that, because I'm like, I can add power later. I can't take it away. That's a personal preference of mine, so I'm not saying that
Yeah.
you're screwing
I
up
just
by
have
not doing it.
a very set sort of sequence for that in my head.
Looking good.
Yeah, you're not too far behind.
Nope. Actually, I was a little ahead.
I'm curious what this looks like.
Very flat,
Is it
very
different at
good
all?
from me.
Yeah, nice.
Ooh. That kind of looks cool.
Hmm. I think I need to bring in a decent chunk of whatever rudder will get the cans pointed back to the crowd
I agree.
after that does that. So once you get inverted,
Yep.
but it's spooky because you're actually, I have the stall warning going the whole time I'm doing that.
I know. No, that looked really good though. Like you're like 75% of the way there.
Yep, yeah.
All right. This was a pretty good rejoin for me once you got in front of me. And now we begin hell. Alright, coming in for the aileron roll. Actually, hold on. We have smoke on for 2 miles, so we'll wait until then. There's the pull. Ready.
Ready. Hit it. Oh, no.
Hit
Wait
it.
a little long. Not bad.
Yep. A little bobble on the clear. Need to use the rudder more.
Oh.
So, you brought out a bunch of power, and I just wasn't ready for it.
Oh, I called that, didn't I?
You did. Oh, okay, yeah. So your smoke's still on, I'd smoked off, which is my issue.
Yeah, this is going to be real close. Should have turned right there, but I waited. Yeah, I should have turned faster, yep.
How fast are we going? 320-ish?
25? Yeah.
Weirdly, that feels fast.
Yeah, wait, I could do it at like 300.
I think
It's
they
a little
might.
squirrely, but yeah. It does feel a little fast.
It does. Like I've been to shows where they do this, and it feels like they're just creeping by. All right. Let's get a move on. Doing flat shows will get me way more used to using more rudder in formation.
Yeah.
I don't use
You know,
enough
I
right
kind
now.
of go back and forth with the rudder and formation. Like, I use, at this point, it's sort of subconscious, but like, sometimes I notice I'm using a lot of rudder, sometimes I don't. I go through like eras of like lots of rudder and lots of non-rudder.
I think for flat
Bank
shows I would
angle.
need to. Yeah, look at the mismatched smoke.
Oh,
Love
right,
it.
yeah.
Alright. Okay, my form flying was not absolutely horrible. It just wasn't great.
No, that's all right.
Are we not going to watch my rollout? Okay, we're good. Oh, come on. Come on! It was so good! Oh, I'm so bad.
You could move.
Too late now. It was so good. So, my goal as boss whenever I lead that is to try and roll out at 800 AGL.
Mm-hmm.
That's
I
way
don't
too
remember what altitude I
That's
actually
way
rolled
too
out
far
at. That was
away.
what I was aiming for.
Okay, I think it was like 600. I had to come down to you a bit. There he is.
Well, whenever you roll out low, I just stay at 800.
That's fair. Skip. Boing. Alright. On to the taxi.
I thought you were going to go deeper into the runway than you ended up doing, so I had to do a funny, like, partial turn. Or I ended up doing a funny partial turn.
Pick this dude whose head I use for all of this stuff. And skip. Close! I'm not far enough left. Or far enough right.
I'm not either. Or I'm not far enough left. I think I turned too sharply, actually. Huh. There you go.
That's a show.
You know, one thing I could do is I could put those Blue Angel crew members in the grass in front of the jets, where you'd have a guy.
Yes. That would help.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and do that.
We're kind of busting our philosophy wide open, aren't we? Just adding all this stuff in. But, you know, at this stage.
I feel like we could fly a... you can stop streaming it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Go ahead and say
I think you could fly a... Like, I think we could fly a good show on a public server.
Oh, yeah.
Without too much trouble.
Confidently.
Which we should do. Again,
we should.
Sometime.
We just have to...
It's always fun, that level of chaos. And,
yes. We just have to commit to understanding that we might die.
A, might die, and B, that the weather is going to be probably bonkers.
Yeah, some crazy crosswind, you know. Alright, folks, that's going to be it for us for tonight. Well, thanks for joining us. Hopefully we'll get some more flat show practice in the future. For our sakes. But we'll see what the weather brings us for Sunday at Tbilisi next time. See ya.